Weather, as well as Zach's weather page on YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about something I don't usually live stream, but I'm going to start live streaming it throughout the season, especially through the bigger winter weather systems. But right now we do have what they're calling a clipper system that's bringing a good amount of snow actually to portions of the Ohio Valley. That's anywhere from Illinois all the way through what will be Ohio. But what you're looking at right now in front of you is the radar that is showing that heavy snowfall making its way across the Hoosier state right now of Indiana. I'm going to verify that my audio is loud and clear. It is. Sounds good to me. So the big thing we want to look for, obviously, are these dark purples that are occurring right now. I know it's kind of hard to see I guess I can change the color. Let me change the color so you guys can actually see what I'm circling here. Let's change it to red. These nice purple colors tucked in there. That's where your heavier snow is coming down right now. Anywhere from the Fort Wayne, Indiana region all the way down to almost Anderson, Indiana. That's where the heavier stuff is coming down. Indianapolis Metro, you also are seeing some. I know the Indiana Chaser Con is happening right now down there. So they're all the storm chasers that are down there in the Danville area are getting a pretty good look at some heavy snow coming down right now. And all the way back towards the Lafayette area. Lafayette, you're probably just now, that's where I live. The snow is just now stopping here in the Lafayette region, all the way down Crawfordsville, all the way down to Greencastle. So a lot of areas are seeing some pretty moderate snowfall. This also extends all the way up into Michigan, all the way up to the Lansing area. So lots of areas seeing snow for the first time this year. It's November 14th. We usually do start to see these snow patterns start to kick in about this time of year. So it's not that unusual to see heavy snowfall already kicking off in the year. Let's go to Twitter, see if we can find anything. I guess I can turn that down. You're probably hearing that twice. Some people have videos on Twitter. That's not what I meant to do. Anne Marie of WTHR, she's a meteorologist down there. She's got a video of the snow coming down in the Indianapolis region. Let's go ahead and cut out of that. I'll take you over to her tweet. So right there in front of you, you can see it currently in the Indianapolis region, that heavy snowfall coming down right now. As you notice down south, it's not really sticking that much. At least when this video was recorded, this was 11 minutes ago. There's not a lot of sticking going on. However, the more north and the more east you go, the snow is sticking a lot greater due to the colder temperatures. So down a little bit further south, there's warmer temperatures at the surface. The snow isn't sticking as much. However, if you come north of Indianapolis into Ohio, into Michigan, there's colder temperatures at the surface, so the snow is sticking. Here at my house, the snow has stuck to surfaces like cars. A little bit of my parking lot is covered. All the trees, all the grass, all have snow on it, but the roads don't. Okay, so it's a little bit too warm for the roadways to stick, which makes sense. I mean, it's still in the mid to upper 30s here, so we're not expecting a lot of snow to stick. But here it is. This snow eventually will continue its way into Ohio, where it will likely dump more snowfall probably in this region, kind of circled here. That's just spitballing it. We did have, let me pull up a forecast that we made yesterday on Indiana weather that you guys can take a look at and get an idea. I'm going to switch you guys over to that forecast so that you guys can see it. Okay, so this was the forecast that we came up with yesterday at Indiana weather. This is valid this morning, starting at midnight, all the way through tomorrow morning. So you can see kind of the idea of what we got here, Indianapolis, all the way up through Chicago, all the way up to Michigan, with the less amounts, upwards to an inch, which is probably about what I got here in my home here in West Lafayette, which is about right here on the map. So far it's pretty accurate. Flurries are likely with little to no accumulation. We did have a little accumulation, but none on the roads. That's kind of what that meant. And then the further east you go, where the temperatures are a little bit colder, you get those higher amounts, especially where the storm is impacting areas the worst. So anywhere from the Fort Wayne region, a little chunk of eastern Indiana, maybe east of Kokomo, and then shooting all the way into Ohio. That's kind of what we were focusing on. The 1 to 3 inches, a little bit more. It says greater chances for heavier amounts, still little accumulation. Okay, so just because it says 1 to 3 inches doesn't mean that's how much is going to be on the ground. Okay, there can be they use the amount of what's the word I'm looking for? They used the amount of snowfall falling in inches, right? Because there's no other way to measure the amount of snow that's going to fall. So they say 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, but maybe only half an inch will actually stick, if that makes sense. But if it were an event that would stick, you would have 1 to 3 inches on the ground. That's what that means. For those that are curious why they say that, and then all of a sudden it doesn't happen, that's the reason why. Back over the radar, you're still getting those heavier snowfall amounts around the Fort Wayne area, all the way down through Hartford City. This is in eastern Indiana. Eventually that will track kind of this direction into Ohio, where we're expecting the heavier snowfall rates to show up in that region, and kind of the western Ohio. And as it gets further east, kind of in this whole area right here, we're expecting the heavier snowfall amounts, probably 1 to 3 inches possible. That's kind of what we're watching for, especially where these purple shaded colors are located. If you have any questions, make sure you ask in the comments so we can get them answered. There's not much really to talk about when it comes to winter weather systems, but we did want to touch on it because we know a lot of these areas, anywhere from this thin line here, this is the cutoff, anywhere from this thin line this way is seeing pretty large snowflakes. They're getting it pretty good right now. So that's why we wanted to kind of touch on it, because I'm sure there's a lot of questions going on around. So, why not? So before we go, we're going to touch on it one more time, just in case you're just now coming in. Heavy snowfall. I wouldn't say maybe heavy. I would say more moderate snowfall. Currently falling across a large section of Indiana. This stretches from about the Bloomington region all the way up into Michigan. The heaviest of the snowfall currently appearing right outside the Fort Wayne region, Monroeville, Decatur, Bluffton, Nottingham, and Hartford City, Indiana. This is expected to continue into Ohio on an eastern track, where it will interact with a little bit colder temperatures. Well, we're expecting anywhere from about right in this region here to produce a little bit heavier snowfall totals in the area of 1 to 3 inches. Back in this area, we were only kind of expecting it to be an inch or less. And from my understanding so far, that is accurate. If you live anywhere kind of west of the Fort Wayne area back in here and you have a snowfall total, make sure you post in the comments. That way I know. But we were not expecting more than an inch back in that direction. And if a lot more snow fell, it probably didn't accumulate over an inch. which a lot of these areas aren't going to be accumulated. The greatest chance for accumulation is over here in Ohio. As the storm continues, it's moved to the east. There it is in motion, so you guys get an idea of which direction it's going. You get a lot of that. You get, and then back here, actually, you can actually see after the main event, you can see lake effect snow appearing in the Benton Harbor region, New Buffalo north, right along Lake Michigan. You get that lake effect snow that even after a main event, you're going to get more snow, even if a city 20 miles east of you isn't, because of that lake effect. I know living up in like the Michigan City, LaPorte, South Bend, Indiana area, there's a lot of lake effect. So you get to interact with that quite often. If no one has any questions, we'll go ahead and log off for now. I just want to do a quick snow event update for those across the Ohio Valley as pretty heavy snowfall comes down currently. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out on Facebook at Indiana WX or on the YouTube channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll update you guys on the winter event as it continues if it worsens. But until next time, guys.